Welcome to Scotto's World. Now what we're going to do today is we're going to have a quick look inside the cabinet and a bit of a tour around what things are connected to what, how things work, and which wires go where basically. I've had a request to go a bit more in depth with that. You've all seen the cabinet and the building process and go from just wood to what you see now, my awesome cabinet which I love. So what I'll have to do is I'll have a look inside the front and the back, and hopefully there'll be enough light to see what's going on in there. But let's go have a look at what's inside this beast. And hello Mr. Mario, keeper of the coins. Speaking of which, coins, they're there. Lots of 20-cent piece goodness. We'll have a quick overview and then we'll go in a bit more detail, hey? Alright, so we've got the coin mechanism, as you can see. Now there appears to be quite a few wires. These ones here, just here, they're for the globes for these front things here. Now I've got to get new globes because these ones don't actually work. So what you do basically here is you've got your black, which is your ground wire or your common wire. As you can see, they go, you've got it connected from here, and it also connects to the other ground. When this one wire then connects to here, and then the other wire, the positive I suppose you want to call it, same deal, daisy chain. These two wires then will run back into here. Basically these lights run off the 9-volt of the PC power supply. So you get one of the standard Molex connectors, and you strip it, and you use the yellow wire, which is your 12-volt. Did I say 5 or 12 before? I meant 12 if I said 5. It's 12-volt. So the yellow wire is your 12-volt. The red is the 5, but we don't need that in this instance. And the two black are both ground. So you need the yellow and one black. So you can just strip that as normal, and then bring it on through and hook it up to your respective wires, and that will give you power for your light. Now the same principle applies for this light here, little power light, which is run with an LED, and of course player 1 and player 2. Any buttons you want with an LED, you're going to have a 9-volt source, a 12-volt. What do I keep saying 9-volt? I'm thinking batteries maybe. 12-volt source from the power supply. Now I might shine some light on here. Here we go. Alright, from this angle, what we're looking at there, that's just the guts of the PC. Now if you look, you'll see that that's pretty much just a case, but there's no side panels on it. I've just taken a Thermaltake armour case and stripped it because there's no need for aesthetics in there, and I want a nice amount of airflow to go in there. So I've just got the components mounted as normal in a PC. And the front is facing the back of the cabinet. So back here we've got your normal input-output panel, or your I/O panel. So there's my, you can see, no, I need 3 hands. There, that's my wireless connection, so I can get an internet if I need to, and everything else is pretty self-explanatory. The DVI connection. If I want to run a secondary monitor I could, but I don't know where to put it. And if you look down here, you'll see the bracket I've got just screwed into the base of the cabinet up against the PC case, and I've got 2 more on the sides. And then have a look from the back, you'll see there's another one. Over this side is the subwoofer. It's a fairly decent sized one. Again, it's mounted, it's secured by the same simple brackets which you can get from Bunnings. One of those brackets costs you about $3 or $4, and it's a really good idea to have, just to keep things stable and secure when you move the cabinet around. Oh, I just realised I haven't finished the coin mechanism. Now, those wires we saw before looked after the lights. We've still got the micro switches. Basically every button and every joystick movement, anything that happens in these is controlled by a micro switch, which is just you've probably all seen a micro switch, just a little tiny box that looks after things. Now these micro switches usually have 3 connections. One is there's the NO, the NC, and the COM. Now, the NO, it can be a little bit confusing, so I like to try and think of it this way. You've got your NC, which means normally closed, but you're not going to really remember much with that. So I normally think NC, not connected, meaning you don't use that one. Why they have it in there, I'm sure there's a reason for it, but I don't know what it is. So that one, where is it? Where's my finger? There he is. That one we're looking at there, that's the NC, not connected or normally closed. This one up here, that is, that's your NO, you're normally open. So that's where your wires will run to the iPack. Now you can see what you can do with these things, if they're both performing the same function, is you can split it. So I've got the one wire connecting both of these things. Again, same with the ground. It's connecting the two grounds, and then this one runs back up into the control panel, and that gets connected into the input for player 1 coin. So I can trigger it here. I can just go, do you hear this? There you go, it's credit. So that's basically what the coin does. When the coin falls down, it triggers that. And there you go, that's your coin mechanism. So you can use it to play paper games if you feel that way inclined. As you can see, with a lot of 20 cent pieces, I sometimes put the coins in for the effect, because it is a pretty cool effect. And underneath, I don't know if you can really see that, it's a bit dark. Here he is. That's my secret credit button. So, if I don't want people to have free games, I'll charge them, but I always know where the secret button is, because that's just the kind of guy I am. Let's have a close up on these fans, because they do look pretty cool. Now they're just 20 centimeters or 200 mil Cooler Master. I can't quite think of the name. It's something like Big Blow Off or one of those things. Anyway, they are really effective, nice and quiet, and actually push a lot of air around. So let's open this up. So now we get a bit of a clearer picture of what's going on. And here you can see the front of the PC. That's actually really cool air those things are blowing. Quite nice. The actual temperature in here is actually cooler than the outside ambient temperature. So that's a really good thing. So I reckon it would have to be at least 2 or 3 degrees cooler in there than outside. There is not a skerrick of heat in there at all. So I do recommend cooling. These are intakes, these two, and then up the top we've got a single one of these as an exhaust. In addition to that, we've got these two 120mm fans on the computer. They're sucking air in, blowing it over the chipset and the CPU and everything, and a 120 at the back, and I believe that's an 80mm up in the back corner there, pulling it out. So we've got some nice airflow going on in there, and I do think that's important, particularly if you live in a climate like up here in Townsville, where it's hot 90% of the time and then stinking hot the rest of the time. Molex. Now the thing here with the Molex is you don't need to have a dedicated one for it. You can daisy chain like your daisy chain fans. You can have, like I've got 1, 2, 3 fans running off the one, plus all the LEDs. You can see here the yellow, the 12 volt, and the black, one of the grounds. I've just taken them off. What I did, they've gone off, and they, in the tangle up the front there, they then split off and hook up to the lights on the coin door and run all the LEDs. As for the fans, well, they're just basically running off a normal Molex. And up here, let's have a look. You can see I've just used like a Molex extender, which goes all the way up to the fan up the top there. Can we see him? There you go. Oh, I sound like an old man there.